Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Bart Bettiga, who is the Executive Director of the National Tile Contractors Association. Bart, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Kemp. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to be with you. I see you every year at Coverings. The Coverings show is just around the corner, less than 2 weeks away. Starts April 17th. It runs to the 20th. Let's get into that in a minute. Before we do that, tell us real quick a little bit about what the National Tile Contractors Association is.
Well, thank you. We are one of the 5 associations that are the owning partners in Coverings. We're actually celebrating our 65th year as a leading trade association this year. We're comprised of tile installation companies and stone installation companies. We have about 800 company members as well as about 200 associate members. And we're dedicated to the professional installation of ceramic tile and natural stone.
And there's been a lot of activity there. I talked to Sven Hoffman, and it's an ongoing effort to make sure that the whole installation process continues to raise the bar, right?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. That is probably the biggest mission we have as far as our strategic objectives for this association, which is to not only raise the bar in installation excellence, but in the understanding and the knowledge from the architectural design and building community as to how important installation excellence is in related to a successful tile installation.
All right, so with the show less than 2 weeks away, a lot of people, they've got a ticket, they got a hotel reservation, they're coming to the show. Let's make sure that they spend their time wisely. One of the big highlights of the show every year is the whole conference programming, and I know that's free, and many of them offer continuing education units. Tell us a little bit of the highlights there, if you would.
Well, we have a task force that puts this program together, really looks closely at what we want to accomplish. And we try to gear programs specifically related to the architectural and design community, as well as to the distribution track. We create a fabrication track for natural stone fabricators. And then we have the retailer and installer track for tile installation. We actually put on at least 70 programs. We'll have over 100 presenters. We bring in a combination of industry experts as well as professional speakers. I go to many trade shows, Kemp, and I'm a little biased, obviously, but I feel that if you're really interested in learning about tile and stone, you can't get anything better than a free program that we put on at Coverings. It's really, really first rate.
And I think new this year, there's a green conference track, isn't there?
Yeah, because of the explosion of the green program, we've specifically now geared a green conference program track for those that are interested, because it's not just the architect. There's builders that are getting lead points, there's contractors, there's distributors that are getting involved in that. And so we've created a green conference program that attracts all of those specific target audiences. And now we're also offering a green certificate program as we try to build towards what we would call a conference certification.
And along the paths of the installer, in addition to the conferences, I know there's a lot going on in the area of installation and showing some of the new techniques. Talk a little bit about that.
There's several things there that people would really get a lot of value out of. The first thing we brought in about 3 or 4 years ago is what we call a live demonstration stage, and you see this at other trade shows. But going on throughout the course of the week at Coverings in the American Pavilion will be several hands-on live demonstrations that are done very nice, quick, fast, short pace, 30-minute type sessions. Some of them are proprietary, where you're actually showing a specific sponsored manufacturer system, and some of them are general in nature, such as what the National Tile Contractors Association puts on, where we actually will show proper mixing techniques. We're actually taking showers, which is probably one of the more difficult installations, as you can imagine, due to the moisture and wet area component of installing a shower and having to properly waterproof it and manage the moisture. We're actually showing through the course of the week several 30-minute tips related to proper shower installation. That's on the live demonstration stage. Now, new this year, we created a specific contractor installer tour program. There's actually a contractor's lounge where they can gather and have lunch and then sign up for tours, where we actually will take them in groups of 20 or 25 and guide them to several key exhibitors that are there specifically with products that are related to the installer trade. Could be installation materials, could be tools, could be wet saws, cutters, everything from thin set and glues. And we'll take them and give them a quick little introduction to the exhibitor and a 5-minute type presentation and guiding them through the process. Because as you can imagine, if you're an installer, a mechanic that has not been to the show before, with over 350,000 square feet, it can be a daunting process, and we're trying to actually take these attendees and kind of guide them through where this area is, where they can really get their most value at the show.
All right, and as people are getting ready to go to the show, how can they find out more information about all that?
Well, they can go to Coverings.com. They also could contact the National Tile Contractors Association at tile-assn.com. But I think if they just go to the Coverings website at Coverings.com, there's a specific component to installer or attendees, and when they click on that, they'll see specific programs such as the contractor tours, the live installation demonstrations, and the conference program.
And you also have a space at the show. Aren't you right beside the Tile Council of North America?
We're all in together in the American Pavilion in the Tile Council of North America area. And we have an information area there that can help them get access to all these programs that we have going on.
Okay, and just since you have this member organization, I know you interact with, how are things going with them as we start to pull out of this economic depression?
Certainly, I would say that we are guardedly optimistic. I probably have a good feel for this because our members, the larger installation companies, talk to me every day about what's on the books. In other words, what work have they secured that's probably 6 months to a year out? I think, Kemp, to be completely honest, the residential new construction is still lagging, and we all know that. We're all watching housing starts. But where the optimism is coming is commercial projects are loosening up, and probably the key indicator for us is people spending their money related to remodeling. If they're not buying new houses yet, they are starting to invest in their existing homes, and the remodeling component seems to be picking up some speed. I expect second half of 2012 to be a continuing rebound, but let's be honest, it's not going to be significant. It's going up slowly, but it is getting better.
Okay, great, Bart. I appreciate it. It's good to talk to you again. We've been talking to Bart Bettiga, who is the Executive Director of the National Tile Contractors Association, about things not to miss at Coverings 2012 down in Orlando. And you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.